Thursday to you. Let me know if you can hear me well today, if the sound is coming through okay. Um my one of my children, bless her heart, loves to come and sit at mama's desk and play her Roblox and do the things at mama's desk. And then when mama comes to sit down in the morning, things are a little wonky. So I go to check the sound, everything is good. And then I go to do the intro and it's not like happening for me. So let me know if y'all can hear me okay this morning. At any rate, it is Thursday, you guys, April 27th, 2023. I hope you are doing well today. Good. You can hear me fine. Awesome. Um, and listen, the things that I start, I'm like, oh God, the intro is playing and it sounds like craziness over here, but it could just be my headphones as well. So we'll see. At any rate, I'm your host, Jessica Jugas. You are watching Project Joy live. And I would love for you to share with me what's bringing you joy today, either live or on the replay, down in the comment section so that it can bring everybody else joy as well. Today, we're going to be talking about my top 10. Now, I did some cheating in this list because there were some things I'm like, oh, but I got to include that one. And oh, but this is a whole category. But in general, we're going to be talking about my top 10 joyful movies. And here's the thing about this little countdown I'm going to do is that it's there, like most movies, to be fair, bring me a lot of joy. Okay. But I'm talking about today the movies that inspired me to look at joy differently and or to create more joy in my life for different reasons. Okay, so these are movies that may have sparked more action for me, or deeper thinking or something like that. So I want to be really clear that, like, to be fair, we could have stayed here all day and talked about every movie on the planet, but I'm going to be talking about these 10 things or 10 movies or categories today as well. And so that's what we're going to be doing coming up. We also have national days to talk about here in a moment. And yeah, there's a couple things that I have to clear up at the beginning of the show here that I forgot to do yesterday. And I just got to talk about that for a minute. But also we have birthdays coming up at the end as well. But I want to check in with you guys first here this morning. Of course, Brittany had her VIP ticket in the front row. Grand Rising. Happy Thursday to you. Mandy B is in the building. I always listen. There's something that brings me joy every time I see you pop up, and that's that little bumblebee next to your name. I don't know why that little bee makes me so happy. I love emojis. Can I get look at boop? I just love that bee. Susan's here this morning. Glad to hear my sound is good. Good to have you here this morning. Brittany said, I'm still feeling sick, but I'm better. Can't wait to get back to 100%. I feel that. I feel that. I finally have been sharing my gifts with people, and the feedback I've gotten has filled me with so much joy. I love that, Mandy. That's awesome. The pursuit of happiness did it for me. Awesome. It is not on my list, but that is, see, it was hard. It was hard for me to come up with a real strong list. I didn't want to like include every single movie, but that is a good one as well. I need that bee. Look at it. Boop, boop, boop. All the bees in the row. My bed is bringing me joy this morning, and these brownies you sent me, y'all. I had to send my girl some brownies because brownies make the world better, first of all, and second, listen, sometimes you just need a little pick me up. You need a little joy when you're feeling down, you're feeling rough. And so I'm glad that the brownies are bringing you joy today. Let me clear up a couple things really quick. So yesterday was Wednesday and I did not do the weather. I'm sorry if you went outside and it was raining and I didn't tell you and you left your umbrella in the house and now you're wet. I'm sorry. Okay, it was my bad. I didn't realize what day it was. Okay. didn't realize what day it was. Brownies are a real peace treaty. Brownies are a whole mood, okay? Um, just ask Snoop Dogg. Anyway, Susan says I'm going to explore a new trail today. I love that. So much fun getting out there in nature. Um, so back to my PSA about yesterday. I also forgot to mention something really important, you guys. So I Where's my brain? No one knows. I was on Bathrobe Moments Tuesday morning after Project Joy Live to spend some time with Dr. Lauren Harris. Lauren is doing this amazing trip to Romania actually like next week. Okay. He's going with a group of people to spread hope, spread joy to little kids in Romania. And they had collected all of these letters from schools here in the US to take over there to give them a spark of hope. And the one kid that Dr. Lauren had talked to was talking about how he was just getting into the space of envisioning what it would be like if he got a letter and then now he's made a friend and he's had a friend for 50 years and they talk and they're close and he has hope. Like, it was just the most heart-wrenching thing I have ever seen. So listen, they had a goal of raising $10,000, and I'm gonna go put the information in the chat for you. They had a goal of raising $10,000. When I was on the show Tuesday, they were about at 8,000 ish dollars. Okay, they are only 100. I'm gonna refresh one more time just to make sure. They're only $148 away from their $10,000 goal for this trip to bring more things over to these kids. If you can donate during this show or while you're watching, $10, $5, $1, whatever it is, that would be amazing. I would love to see Dr. Lauren Michaels Harris reach this $10,000 goal today. $148 away, you guys. That's like nothing. Okay. And be able to bring more joy and hope to these kids. So I put the information down in the comments for you. If you can make a small donation today, that would be amazing. If you can't do that, please be sure that you send the good love, the good vibes to these kids and to the whole team that's going out there. There on that video or on that link that I put, there's a video that you can watch about what they're doing. It's the Power of We Symposium, USA team that's going to be going out there to help observe the power of love and the power of hope. It's going to be an amazing trip. And I'm sending lots of love to everybody who is going on that trip. So if you can donate, definitely click that link. Again, they're $148 away. I'm going to check it again at the end of the show and see where we're at, if we've gotten up there at all. Divine DNA is here this morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good to see you today. All right, let's get into our national days today, because otherwise we're going to run out of time, and I got to get to my top 10 movies because I'm excited about that. So, national days today. I hope you had your snacks before you came to the show today. It's National Gummy Bear Day. Let me know if you like a gummy bear. I don't eat regular gummy bears anymore because most of them have gelatin in them, which we're not going to get into where we know that comes from. But there's a lot of vegan gummy bears out there that I do like. But I'm doing, that's not part of the Whole Foods that we talked about yesterday. So it's also not in the Whole Foods. It's National Devil Dog Day. Let me know if you guys like those. I was never a devil dog fan, I'll be honest with you. I preferred the if I was going to have one of those little cakes, either the Little Debbie cakes, like the Christmas tree ones, or the Swiss cake rolls, those ones. But I was never a devil dog. Those were always real dry to me. I don't know. Like, maybe I got the stale ones. I don't know what it is, but it's the two chocolate cakes with cream in the middle. It's National Devil Dog Day. Let me know if you're going to celebrate that. It's National Teach Children to Save Day. So that's really interesting, teaching your children to save a little bit of their money. My kids are on Cash App with me, and we have like a family thing, and they actually have, like, they encourage you to save on Cash App. So I love what Cash App is doing. Just quick shout out to them really quick. It's also National Tell a Story Day, and you guys know that I am here for this because that is like the bedrock of the Breakthrough Show Network, is telling stories, teaching through stories, sharing moments together. So tell a story today. Take some time to tell a story to someone, because that's how we continue things, let things go on generation to generation, is sharing those stories. It's also National Take Our Daughters and Sons to Work Day, apparently. I work at home, so they're here every day, and they've gotten to the point now where they're just like, Mom's recording, we're not going downstairs. So I'm thankful. Thankful for that. Although they've all had a hand in some different things behind the scenes in my work, so I appreciate that. And it's really created an entrepreneurial spirit in them that I love and appreciate. So it's a great thing to show your sons and daughters, show your kids what you do in your work. It's also National Poem in Your Pocket Day. National Poem in Your Pocket Day. I love this. So this is a day that shares the way poetry brings joy by simply carrying one in your pocket. When you share the poem, you'll bring joy to others. So that'd be a cool thing today, to print out a poem you love, put it in your pocket, and when you go somewhere, just share it with them. Share the poem with them. Um, Let me go over to yes, I love a good story too. I love a good story all day. Mandy says done. All right, we're going to check at the end of the show, Mandy. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you all donating to the cause. It's so awesome that they're doing this trip to Romania. I'm so proud of Dr. Lauren Harris and the whole team. What else do we have going on today? We need to get to our movies because I really want to talk about this, and talk about how hard it was for me to to come up with these movies. But because it's Poem in Your Pocket Day, we're going to listen to my dear friend Dorothy O'Shea read the For Love poem, and we'll be right back after this.
I shall stand for love, even with a broken soul, even with a heavy heart. I shall stand for love, for the world is wounded, not just my little piece of land, where I am mostly safe, where I am mostly well, but our world, everywhere, every day. I shall stand for love, because we need more light, not more death, not more power, not more bombs. I shall stand for love, so that our children are safe, so that our friends are sheltered, so that our borders are open. I shall stand for love, even with a broken soul, even with a heavy heart.
That was the I Shall Stand for Love, or For Love poem, written by my good friend Dorothy O'Shea, that we lost last year. And I still get up every day, you guys, 7 a.m. Eastern time, with my friends from around the world and read the poem together. It's typically Daria in Brussels, Belgium, and Luis in Brazil. And if anybody else would like to join us for this practice, we would love to have you. Just send me a message on whatever platform you see me on, and I'm happy to share the link, and you can read this poem with us daily. Sets the vibe for my whole day. Sometimes I'm on there in PJs, sometimes I'm getting ready for the show, but it makes my whole day. Makes my whole day. Absolutely. I shall stand for love. So Mandy, there is a printout that I can send you, and then but yeah, nobody's put together. Dorothy wanted to make sure that everybody was able to just read it and take it away. But yes, and I will send you the information. Just send me a message so I don't forget, because I get a little loopy after the show. And yeah. Um okay, so listen, I want to get to the movies really quick because we're going to talk about my top 10 joyful movies right now. So I told y'all that I cheated because I couldn't narrow it down. I couldn't narrow it down to 10. And even what I did narrow it down to was really, really hard. And even though I did put these in order of like 1 to 10 or 10 to 1 or whatever, it's still like I could swap them up. You know what I mean? It doesn't necessarily have to be in this order, but this is what we're going with. This is my answer and I'm sticking to it. And what I shared with everybody before is this: most movies bring me joy. Okay. Most movies are joyful for me, but these are movies particularly that sparked something in me, that made me think about something, joy in a different way, or made me be more joy in action, taking action when it comes to joy and things like that, or just taking my joy practice to another level. Okay. So without further ado, let's get into it. Okay. Number one, or number 10, or whatever this is. This is a category. It's not a single movie, and that is old musicals. Okay. I'm not talking about some of the new musicals are good, and it's no shade, it's no hate. I had to pick 10 things, but the old musicals represent for me just the creation of joy. Everything is a damn song. All right. Everything is an opportunity to sing something. All right. I've got four of my favorites here. I've got West Side Story, Meet Me in St. Louis, The King and I, Singing in the Rain. I love The Sound of Music, Oklahoma, Guys and Dolls. And I'm talking about the old musicals right now. Okay. They represent for me creating joy, and they represent for me singing songs, and what a magical thing that has been in my life to be able to sing, to learn how to sing, to take lessons, to have performed on the stage. And it was such a the old musicals and my grandparents instilling those into me and into my life really set the stage for me to begin performing and to um vocalize my joy in a way, to get creative about my joy. And so this is a really nostalgic for my number 10. Okay. West Side just speaks to my soul. Listen, the I don't know what it is about the old musicals, but I just love them. I love them. Okay. So that's my number 10. My number 9, it might be a little bit outside, like how the hell could this be included in a top 10 of all time that bring you joy? But I need you to hear me out on this, and that's School of Rock. Okay, School of Rock with Jack Black, first of all, is hilarious. But second of all, the whole thing, if you really listen to this movie and look at all of the little things in there, the nuances and stuff, okay, it speaks to completely the joy of being authentic and being who you are no matter what. Not only does Jack Black do that in his style of teaching, okay, but he encourages the kids as he's creating this band to just literally rock what they have, okay, to take that thing that they're good at and go for it. Talks about the one kid that loved fashion. He's like, good, you're making the costumes for the band. And then the girl that could sing, he's like, belt it out, like really leaning into that authenticity of who they are. Okay. Listen, y'all could laugh. Y'all could laugh, but this is a good one when it speaks to the joy of being authentic. Okay. Being who you are. All right. My number 3 is Karina. All right. Ray Liotta, Whoopi Goldberg, like this movie, so many things, and it's going to get a little bit emotional, but this to me speaks to the fact that joy can be found in the hardest of times. Raise your hand if you've seen this movie. If you have not seen this movie, let me know as well. But if you've seen this movie, raise your hand. This movie is really heavy in the grief department. So basically, the little girl's daughter or mom dies, dad's single now, and they have Karina come in to clean the house and help take care of her and everything else. And the whole thing speaks to being able to find joy in really tough times, in really hard times. And what I love so much about this movie is that it doesn't sugarcoat it. Okay, you see some arguments, some hard crying, all of this stuff, but it really speaks to, like I said, that you can find the joy, but you have to put the effort on it. Eventually, little girl had to get out of bed and go and help and find that joy. Okay. And it kind of was there all the time. You got to go watch the movie. Okay. I am shocked. Okay. This shocks me, to be honest. You got to go watch this movie. You have to watch this movie. Okay. All right. Just end of story. Really, really good movie. So definitely check that out. All right. My number 10, 9, 8, 7, we can count, is Up. It's Up by a Disney Pixar movie. Now, listen, I could put in a lot of Disney movies because just of the joy of, the music, the cartoons, the joy. But I'm looking for things that really spoke to me. So Joy reminds me about, or Up reminds me about the joy in connecting through generations, connecting with our older folks, and then also that joy can be found right next door. Sometimes we go off and look for different things. In our life outside of ourselves, outside of our homes, outside of our town that we live in. And all the time, our joy could have been right there knocking on the door, trying to sell us some Girl Scout cookies or whatever. So it's really, really a big reminder for me of that. Loved Up, such a cute movie. Listen, I cried like a baby during Up. Okay, cried like a baby, but it reminds me of that joy could be right here. Sometimes we go looking for it outside of ourselves, and it's not necessary. It's not necessary. All right, my next one, my number 6, is actually a pair of movies, and it's a first movie and a second movie. And it always reminds me about, again, the joy in music for me, embracing your gifts and helping those in need. And that's the Sister Act movies. Okay. We got a couple Whoopi Goldberg movies going on here, but the Sister Act movie is one of my favorites. And if you want to be very literally about joy, the second one, they sing Joyful Joyful. And so and I was singing that, we were singing Joy song on Bathroom Moments with Dr. Lauren on Tuesday. And I was singing I've Got That Joy, that one from church days. And so I love the Sister Act movies. Again, joy in music, embracing your gifts, helping those in need. And it's a feel good one for me. I rewatch both Sister Act movies all the time. All the time. All the time. Okay. My kids are like, okay, well, movie night. I'm like, all right, Sister Act. They're like, what? Again? So I love those movies. All right, my next one, my number five, what are we at? 1, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Number 5. I should have numbered these, you guys. Is a pair of movies. They are not related this time, though. But these two movies really speak to me about the joy in the present moment and also the joy in friendship. And there's two movies here. The first one is Big. You can see on the bottom there with Tom Hanks. And my second one is 13 Going on 30. I don't know why that. I just love that movie. So because it's so 90s-esque, and I just I love all things like late 80s, early 90s. And so both of these movies, I put them together because obviously they go to different times. They both go into the future to their older selves, and they think the joy is going to be found in being older and being bigger and going to the next thing. But this really speaks to me about the joy of being present and appreciating what you have right now. What you have right now in the moment. And I think, and as corny as it sounds, 13 on Going on 30 really did that for me, because I'm often kind of the opposite and going backwards to where I really lean on that nostalgia and wishing things that could be now how they once were. And 13 Going on 30 really, like, as every time I watch that, I'm reminded, like, okay, yes, those were great times, those were fun times, but be now and be in the present. Those it's important. What's up, Danielle? Good morning. I'm glad I'm not I'm not the only one that sees the value in some of these movies. I'm so glad you needed this today. I just wanted to have a little fun with you guys, to be honest. But So those are my pick for number 5. My number 4, again, collection of movies, and I gotta go with the Harry Potter series. Okay, all of them, all 8, and I binge watch these on a regular basis. Another one that my husband in particular is starting to learn the words to the movies, and he doesn't even like want to watch them because I watch them so much. But Harry Potter for me, joy and magic, embracing your gifts, again with joy and grief. There's a lot of grief in these movies, a lot, and hard lessons. And because it's an 8 movie series, okay, every time I go back and watch these, I hear something else that I'm like, oh, I didn't hear that the first time, or it didn't land the first time, and now I'm like, this is like a profound thing, and it really has made me think about things in a different way. Okay, it really has. And even before the movies, honestly, reading the books for me were life changing. Were life changing. Obsessed. um did it really? I have to look okay, now I need to go to New York. We're gonna have a problem, Mandy. Oh God. I'm glad you like my pick so far, Susan. But yeah, so I listen, I love them. And even and I've shared this before, but I want to share it again because in the final movie, basically the proverbial shit has hit the fan. Everything's falling apart. Voldemort has come back, taking over the world, blah, 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 right? And their school that was once a safe place is not a safe place anymore. And there's this scene where Luna Lovegood is going to go back to school. And Harry says to her, you know, Hogwarts isn't what it always was. Like, Hogwarts isn't the same. And Luna says, well, that's okay. Or he says, Hogwarts has changed. And Luna says, that's okay. So have I. And it's just this reminder of like the joy in the ever changing world that we're in. And when I heard that the last time I went through the series and watched it, I'm like, damn, like I'm having a whole moment here. Having a whole moment here with this because it just reminds me that things are always changing. They're always going round and round, and we can choose to be stuck and have a whole fit about it, or we can go, I've changed too. So I'm just gonna roll with it and go with it. So lots of joy in that whole series for me for many reasons. My next one is also a series of movies, but I'm only going to speak to the first 2 because the fourth one was just so not connected to the first 2 for me. And the third one, it was good, but it wasn't really like super based off of the books, and that was important to me. And that is the Anne of Green Gables miniseries that came out. It was on Canadian television, and then you could get the movies or whatever. But with Megan Follows, she first of all, well, I know that they came out with the Anne with the E series on Netflix, but these original movies will always be where it's at for me. It talks to me about joy in creating the family that you want, that it doesn't have to be your blood family, that you can create the kind of environment and family that you want. And these movies were so incredibly important to me growing up when things may have been tough for me at different times in my family. And it just always reminded me like that you can create the family that you want, and also unconditional love, that the power of that is so potent and so real and so joyful. Again, I watch these all the time. I cry like a baby every single time. um you have to watch these movies. You will literally bawl. Like you will bawl through the whole thing. It's so good. But obviously, Anne's an orphan, and she's not wanted. She's not treated well by any of her families that took her in. It takes place in olden times, which is, It's a nice nostalgic little look. Got the horse and buggies and things like that. But she doesn't give up on her dreams. Like, that's another part of this story. She doesn't give up on her dreams. She wants to move forward anyway, despite the hardships that she's been through. And so it really, this movie, it's up there for me. It's up there for me for a good reason. It means a lot to me, but also I just think that, you know, so many of us have so much trauma when it comes to the families that we were born into, and we really struggle with that. And Anne is a reminder to me always that you can create the family you want anytime. It's not always about the blood family. You can create the kind of family that you want. So I love that one. My number two, we got to get a heavy hitter up here, you guys. And for me, heavy hitter in the movie world is Morgan Freeman, boys and girls. Okay. Lean on Me is my number two pick for joyful movies. This talks to me about joy in lifting up our children. Our children are our future. We talked about that on Bathrobe Moments with Dr. Lauren on Monday. Talked about being yourself, but also knowing when it's time to change. The joy in being yourself, but also knowing when it's time to change, and the joy that can be found in that. Because if you guys have seen this movie, okay, this is a whole movie. All right. If you guys have seen this movie, you know that Morgan Freeman plays a character, Joe Clark, and this is based on a true story, you guys, too. If you didn't know that, Lean on Me is based on a true story. But he's hard-headed, and he does things his way and how he wants, and this is the way it's always done. But he recognizes at some point in the movie that he needs to be a little softer. He can still be strong and have those boundaries. There is joy in boundaries to be found in this movie, and there is joy in having a regimented way to do things. But at some point, you got to soften a little bit, just a little. Don't lose who you are, but so that you can get through to more people, so that your message can be spread further. And it's I watched this again the other night because such a good movie, but there's so much joy in it for me about these things that I've talked about. And it reminded me to not lose who I am, but there are ways that we can get through even further to people. And it's an amazing lesson to learn. It really, listen, he is incredible. Truly. True. I put you on that movie. I love it. I love it. Okay, are you guys ready for my number one? We're running over time here this morning, but that's okay. My number one is another movie that's based on a true story. And I know that there's some things behind the scenes of, like, you know, some of the movie wasn't, it's no different than Lean on Me or any of the other based on a true story movies. Okay. It's no different. You're going to have discrepancies perhaps, but my number one feel good but also inspiring and joy-filled movie is It Could Happen to You with Nicolas Cage and Bridget Fonda. Okay, so this is based on a movie. If you guys have, raise your hand if you've seen this movie. It's based on the story that the guy buys a lotto ticket, okay, and he goes to eat in the restaurant where Bridget is waitressing, and he doesn't have money to leave a tip. And he's a cop. He's a good guy. He's like, I am a good guy. I gotta leave a tip. Gotta leave a tip, right? So he's upset, and she's like, whatever, dude, I'm having a bad day. And he leaves. He's like, I'll make you a deal. If I win the lottery, okay, if I win on this ticket, I'm gonna split it with you. And she's like, okay, whatever, dude, have a good day. You know, turns out he wins, and he wins the jackpot and goes back and actually shares it with her. Okay. But there's so many things that I love about this movie. It's a reminder of joy and miracles. They were both in a tough place when he won the money, when they won the money, and things happening. It reminds me that things happen when they should, and those miracles that happen. It reminds me of joy and gratitude and paying it forward. I don't want to spoiler alert with it because we know how Brittany feels about my spoilers over here. And I don't want to spoil it if you haven't seen it, but there is joy in paying it forward in being humble, joy in finding love again when maybe love hasn't been so kind to you. But it really, I particularly like the part about being able to pay it forward when you have the opportunity to do that, and there being so much joy in being able to do it. Love this movie. Yes. Yes. You have not seen this one? This is such a good movie. Such a good movie. And it has what's her face in it? Oh gosh. She plays a really funny role too. Hold on a minute because this is gonna bother me. Please hold. Please hold this one moment. Rosie Perez, is that who I'm thinking of? Um, is that who I'm thinking of? Yes, I was right. Who plays Muriel Lang, who plays Nicolas Cage's wife in the start of the movie. Okay, so really, really it has really good cast. All right, you guys had Nicolas Cage, Bridget Fonda, Stanley Tucci, Wendell Pierce. Really good cast, but such a good movie. Such a good movie. Yes, paying it forward is where it's at, and that's really what this movie stands for. It really does. And so those are my top 10, you guys, of like, and like I said, there's a Mandy talked about before. What was the one you mentioned before? Hold on, scrolling back. Mandy, say the movie again. I'm scrolling back. Scrolling back. Pursuit of Happiness. That's what it was. There we go. That was a really good one as well. Some of the other, I love the ones that are like based off of true stories because it really speaks to, you know, like these real joyful things are happening all around us. So I love this. I'm glad you had fun with it because I could listen. I am such a movie dork. I could watch the movies all the time. But right now, do you know what time it is? It's time to get to birthday. In the celebrity world, Lizzo has a birthday today, 36 years old. Happy birthday, Lizzo. Ulysses S. Grant, our president, passed away in 1885, had a birthday today. The wife who passed away from Dr. Martin Luther King, Coretta Scott King, had a birthday today. David Lasher, actor. I don't know if you guys remember him. Do y'all remember the show Hey Dude on Nickelodeon back in the 90s? Let me tell you something. I love that show. Okay. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I loved that show. But he was in that. David Lasher was in 90210. He's had a lot of different TV credits under his belt. But happy birthday, David Lasher. Also, Kiss guitarist Ace Frehley has a birthday today. Happy birthday to Ace. And in the celebrities in my life, Breakthrough Show Network alumni Jeff Brandeis has a birthday today. So sending lots of birthday vibes to Jeff Brandeis, and let's get our birthday song on. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Lizzo, Ulysses S. Grant, Coretta Scott King, David Lasher, Ace Frehley, and Jeff Brandeis. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to all those that are celebrating today. And if I missed you, if you have a birthday and I didn't know, happy birthday to you. I will be back tomorrow. I've got a very special guest tomorrow on Project Joy Live. And we have another little special surprise from Kevin Kiley tomorrow. It's truly going to be a fun Friday. There's going to be a fashion show up in here. Okay. We're going to have a lot of fun with it. So make sure you tune in tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Eastern time. Thank you all for being here today and for having movie fun with me today. I'm your host, Jessica Dugas, and I want to remind you to make joy a priority in your life today and every day. I'll see you tomorrow, guys. Bye.